Namaskar to all. Children, for the past few classes we have been studying about chapter 2, acids, bases, salts. We've studied about their physical properties. We've studied about indicators. We have studied about their chemical properties. Now children, we have seen that all the acids, whether it is sulfuric acid, whether it is hydrochloric acid or acetic acid, they all release hydrogen gas when they act upon active metals. So why do you think it happens? Something must be common to all these acids. Similarly, we have seen the behavior of bases, that most of the bases are showing the similar reaction. So there must be something common in these bases also. So we will try to understand this with the help of this activity. I have taken a glass of electrolytic cell. I have arranged, and in place of electrolyte I have taken an acid. What I have done over here, I have put a rubber cork in which I have placed two nails like this, and over here I have made the arrangement in a manner that it attaches to the battery, 6-volt battery. I have put a key, and I have also put a small bulb, or I can even put a LED. Now what I do, when I close the key, what happens? We will observe that the current starts flowing in the circuit and the bulb starts to glow. Now what do you think must be the reason? Yes, you are right. The reason is that acids are ionic compounds and they release ions when they are in solution form. What type of ions? Yes, you are right. They are the H+ ion or the hydrogen ions. But these hydrogen ions are released only when the acid is dissolved in water. So we always write H+ aqueous, or we can also write H+. When it comes in contact with water, it forms H3O+, or the hydronium ion to be more specific. And this is the ion which is responsible for the acidic behavior. That means whatever reactions of various acids we have seen, the reason is this. Because this is released, the acid shows its particular reaction. Now I am sure your brain is going in the direction of bases also. So that is right. The behavior of bases is because of similarly OH- that are generated when they are dissolved in water. Now I have taken one more setup. Suppose this is setup A and this is setup B. What I have done, the similar arrangement I have done, but instead of acid, what I have done, I have taken any other organic solvent like alcohol, distilled water or glucose. All these, any of these can be taken. So what I do, when I close the switch, I will observe that there is no current that passes through it. No current. So what is going to happen? The bulb will not glow. What does it show? It shows that such type of compounds like alcohol, distilled water or glucose, these are covalent compounds and they do not produce ions like acids. So if the electrolyte I have taken over here is acid, if it is a base, then also the bulb will glow. If it is a salt, yes, then also the bulb will glow, because salt is formed by the reaction of acid and base, the cation and anion. Basically, whenever we have ions which are coming in solution form, they are going to be responsible for the conduction of electricity. Now we are going to see how the acids and bases are diluted. Children, very often it happens that we need to dilute an acid or base. We need to prepare dilute solutions in the laboratory. So what is the correct way of doing that? I have taken two setups. In one of the setups, what the arrangement is, in a test tube, acid or base, the strong one is taken and water is being added. What do you have to say about this? Is this the correct method? Correct. It is not the correct method, because it is when the water is going to fall over it over here locally, a lot of energy is going to be produced, and since it is an exothermic reaction, there will be a lot of heat. So because of which the acid can cause spurting and it can come on the face of the person who is handling, or it even to in some cases the test tube can burst also. So this is not the correct method, as it can be explosive also. Now this is the correct method, in which the known amount, suppose I have to make a dilution of any particular amount, so that particular amount of water, measured quantity is taken, and the amount of acid or base, whatever I need to add, it is added drop by drop. Slowly it is being added. Now you will say the reaction is same. Why is ma'am saying that by adding acid there will not be problem? Now over here, when the acid is reacting with this part of water, the energy is being produced over here only, and the amount of energy is comparatively less. And what is happening? The energy is being dissipated in the larger quantity of water, which is going to subside it. Rather over here, which is acid or base, which is corrosive, it can cause more explosive reaction. So what happens when we dilute it in this manner? We get the desired result. So we all know that strong acids and bases, they are highly corrosive, and while handling we should be very careful because they can harm us. Now you will find in chemistry lab, you will find some such kind of symbols also made at some places, in which they have shown something like this. There is a hand and a drop of acid is there, and the hand is getting burnt, and over here it is written danger or something. So all these are tips for you to know that we need to handle the strong solutions of acids and bases very carefully. Now children, the strength of an acid and base, what do you understand by this term strength? Now depending upon the number of hydrogen ions that are, or hydronium ions that are released in the aqueous solution, we can say the strength of acid depends. That means more are the number of hydrogen ions which are released in a solution, the stronger the acid would be. Okay, so we can say the acids can be strong acid or weak acid depending upon the H plus ions released in the aqueous solution, or H3O plus. Now if you take the examples, HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, these are the common mineral acids that we are using in our laboratory. All these are strong acids. When we talk about weak acids, now weak acid are the ones which do not release H plus ions very easily. This means in the solution, when they are dissolved in the solution, most of them, they will be in their molecular form only. They will not dissociate into H plus and acetate ions. This will be, the dissociation will be very poor, and very little number of H plus ions will be released. Similarly with carbonic acid. So we will say these are weak acid. Similarly for bases, if we say bases can be strong and weak depending upon the correct release of OH minus when they are dissolved in water. Now the strong bases are the ones which are releasing almost 100%. So when we dissolve NaOH or KOH in water, what do we see? We see that all the molecules break into Na plus and OH minus ions. Similarly, K plus and OH minus ions. And they are all in the solution form. That is the reason they conduct electricity. Yes. When we talk about weak bases, for example, NH4OH or ammonium hydroxide, most of it will be in this molecular form. It will not break only. And very few will only break and form NH4 plus and OH minus ions. Now children, over here we need to, since we are studying strong and weak acids, it is very important for you to know the concentrated and dilute acids also, or bases. Now concentration, when we talk about concentration, you have studied in class 9th also, it refers to the amount of a substance which is dissolved in a fixed quantity of water. So when I say a dilute solution of hydrochloric acid, I mean a limited amount of hydrochloric acid is added to a fixed quantity of water as compared to a concentrated solution in which I have added more quantity. Now I hope you got the difference correct, and it is important for you to know these terms because we are going to use them very often now. If you compare them on pH scale, we have studied pH, the stronger acids will be somewhere around this region because they will completely dissociate and the pH value will be quite low because there is an inverse relation, children. More is the hydronium ions, lesser is the pH, the lower is the pH. While the weak acids will be somewhere around in this region. Okay. Similarly for bases, the weak bases are going to occupy the position somewhere near about the neutral range, and the stronger bases like these sodium hydroxide and KOH, they will be occupying the higher pH range. Children, we have been studying about pH so much and we have been using this term all through our chapter, and I just want to tell you that pH is very important in our day-to-day life also. And we come across so many times when we talk about acidity, when we talk about pH, exact pH in our day-to-day activities. So this is the list of some of them. Now children, when the human body, for that matter any organisms, they almost work in a specific pH that is a little normally more than the neutral range, that is on a little basic side. Like for example, human beings, the pH value of blood is somewhere around 7.2 to 7.8, which is very mildly basic. Now if there is a slight change in pH, what will happen? There will be a lot of problems related to various biochemical processes and the systems will get disturbed. So that is the reason it is always advised that whenever you are taking any medicines, you should always do it with the precaution of the prescription of the doctor, and you should take necessary precautions because the medicines can disturb the pH. Okay, so number 2, you must have heard about tooth decay. Now when a person eats the food and there are some food particles which are left in the mouth, and there are some sugars, especially when a person is eating the sweet stuff, sweet foods, what happens? The bacteria within the mouth, they start to get active and they start consuming the sugars and they form acids within the mouth. Acids are formed within the mouth, and What do these acids do? They destroy the tooth enamel. Suppose this is the tooth. The acids are going to cause cavity and they are going to destroy this tooth enamel. So what is the solution to this? The idea is to maintain a dental hygiene, and one should brush the teeth twice daily with a fluoride toothpaste. You have studied that toothpaste is basic in nature. Coming to the third point is when we talk about acid rain. Now when the pH of the rain goes less than 5.6, like it was less than 5.5 in the mouth pH is also somewhere around neutral only. So when the acidic range, pH goes less than 5.6, we regard it as acid rains. Now acid rain is responsible for the damage to various living organisms, aquatic life, and to the plants, and they are also destroying the monuments and buildings and structures. You must have studied earlier also. When we talk about the next, pH of the digestive system, we talk about this very often. What happens when you eat? In your system, in your biology also you must have studied, when the food reaches the stomach, HCl, hydrochloric acid, is released by the gastric glands, and the pH of this hydrochloric acid, it ranges from 1 to 3. That means it is quite strong acid. Now what happens? This pH, this hydrochloric acid helps in destroying the bacteria, and it is helping in the process of digestion also. But what, suppose you eat a lot of spicy food, or you eat a lot of food, you consume too much. So what happens? You must have come across this term called hyperacidity, and sometimes reflux also occurs. What happens? Acid comes up to the esophagus also, causing a burning sensation in the chest region. This is called hyperacidity, and we have commonly used substances like ENO, milk of magnesia, and Digen. All these are basically antacids which neutralize this hyperacidity and give relief to the system. So once again, the role of pH. Now there is a system of self-defense in some animals and plants. Now what do the nature has devised a way for the protection of small plants and animals. If you talk about honeybees, or if for that matter ant also, when the ant bites, you must have experienced the ant bite, it releases methanoic acid, or we can also say formic acid, and it causes a somewhat itching or burning sensation. It is because of methanoic acid. Now this honeybee or the ant is doing for self-defense. Now if you apply some baking soda over it, what happens? You get relieved. Again, it is acid-base neutralization reaction. Similarly, this nettle plant, it is having the leaves of this type, and the leaves have got small spines all over it. Now when you go to some wild region or these national parks and all, you will find nettle plants growing very commonly, and when you get brushed by the nettle leaves, you feel some itching and some sensation of burning happens, again because of the release of methanoic acid. Now methanoic acid, this is again a defense mechanism, because the animals may come and eat the plant or harm the plant. So for that, the nature has devised this defense mechanism. Interestingly, children, if you find near the nettle plant only, you will find one more plant by the name of dock plant. If you just take the leaves and you crush it and you apply at the place where you have got bruises and you have got irritation, you will be relieved. Again, this is acid-base neutralization. Last but not the least, children, we will discuss about the pH of soil. pH of soil is very, very important, and the farmers are also suggested that they should get pH of their farms and their soil tested, because the correct pH, the knowledge of correct pH helps them to devise ways and for the correct amount of fertilizers may be used. Suppose actually ideally it should be neutral, but if the pH is on the a little acidic side, so what is going to be suggested? Some chemicals like calcium oxide, etc., to lower down, to balance that acidity. And similarly, if it is basic, so some organic matter may be suggested. So this is the importance of pH in everyday life. In our module today, we have studied about how acids and bases are diluted and how they are conducting electricity because of the presence of that active or replaceable H plus ion or OH minus ion. And we also studied about pH in our daily lives. I'll request you to go through the content given in your NCERT book and practice the back exercises.